So I went to a friend's house. She wasn't there. So I came back to my house and I called my mother. And I told my mama, I said, I can't find Tiffany.
What's good, guys? Welcome back to the Milk Carton series. I'm your host, Stephanie, if you are new. And as always, we thank you for tuning in for another episode. Today's story focuses on 12-year-old Tiffany Michelle Goines, who went missing in Frederick, Maryland, back in December 5th of 1987. On the day Tiffany disappeared, she was listed as having on a blue jacket or a white nylon coat, white socks with white tennis shoes that did not lace up. She had on a white cloth belt with a white sweatshirt that had a picture on it with blue jeans and brown gloves. Now, on this day, Tiffany set out to play with her friends and run some errands for her neighbors, as reported in the Charlie Project. Now, Tiffany lived at the John Hanson Apartments off North Bench Street in Frederick, Maryland, and this is where the last time anyone has ever seen Tiffany. Now, when Tiffany did not return home by 5 p.m. for dinner, her mother began to look for her. So as her mother began to look for her, there was no sightings of Tiffany. And now you have to think back in the day, back in the 80s, that social media reporting someone missing is not as, let's not say not as good, but it is so much more efficient now than it was back then.
At that time, we didn't have the Amber Alert where, they don't wait the 24 to 48 hours. But in our neighborhood, it was always just 24 to 48 hours with our children before law enforcement would actually come and investigate.
Back then, you had to wait to report someone missing and actually wait that 24 hours. Sometimes it's still around the same, but when you pull in how amazing technology is, it kind of speeds up the process of reporting your loved one missing when you really think about it. So on the day Tiffany disappeared, there are kind of two different accounts of what witnesses have stated about the vehicle. Some people said it was a red convertible or it was a blue Chevy Roulette Impala, and the license plate began with GH and it ended in 22. Now, there hasn't been any new reports regarding that, but that is what witnesses have stated. They seen Tiffany getting in on December 5th of 1987. Tiffany was a 6th grade student, and her mother literally, which is so sad, literally would sleep in the living room every day until 2005 just to see if her child would return home.
These gifts under the tree, I didn't open up for 3 years, and where I slept was on the sofa. I didn't sleep back in the room no more after this happened, in case she knocks on the door.
And knock on the door. Sadly, in 2005, these apartment complexes were torn down, but it has been reported that her mother still lives in the area after that. And that's just so heartbreaking to think, your child disappears, there's no new sightings of her, and you sleep in the living room just getting an ounce of hope that one day she would knock on the door. Now, if Tiffany were still alive today, she would be around 47 years of age. And it's just so heartbreaking to know that all of these years has passed and there hasn't been any information regarding her disappearance. Sadly, that is all the information regarding Tiffany. There has not been any new leads regarding her case, and her case is still unsolved. And it's truly sad when you think about it, because you wonder what happened on that day. I'm sure someone's seen something.
Everybody that we could possibly interview back then, we've interviewed. Now we're talking, 20, 30 years later, that a lot of those people are no longer around.
Hoping to generate new leads in her case, police have released this latest age-progressed photo of Tiffany, as she might look now as a 37-year-old woman.
And the sad reality of that is, as a mother, you have to live with knowing that, your child went outside to play and they disappeared and no one knows anything. There's no new information to turn up regarding her disappearance. And as her family, they deserve to know at least something regarding her disappearance and just to know what may have happened to her. As always, guys, we try to report accurate and list everything down below. So if you want to go check it out, you can. But as always, guys, we're sending you all love and light and love out to her family. I mean, it's been a long time since Tiffany disappeared. But again, we have to continue to put these cases back in the light because you just never know. There has been so many cases that turn up with DNA evidence or just some type of piece to the story to, to place it, to piece it together. So I'm praying that that happens for the family of Tiffany. As always, guys, I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.
Come on, so I can know that everything's all right.
Tiffany, if you hear this, we love you, we miss you. And if you're out there, we are here for you.